Alright, in this video I am going to show you some funny shit real quick. Then I'm going to talk about some stuff regarding the GameFAQs year contest. I'll talk about it in a sec. Anyway, check it out. I'm going at this guy. He's got a sniper rifle, I got a sniper rifle. Boom, I wing him in the shoulder. Tried to shoot him in the dick, didn't work. Tried to shoot him again, fucking missed. He was running away like a pussy. I have an FRG, so I'm going to get in close and just smoke his ass with the FRG. But, if you look carefully, this trailer is raised off the ground. You can actually see his fucking foot through the fucking floor here, through that little gap. So I, shoot him in the fucking leg. Totally awesome. And I know he has a sniper rifle, so I get some ammo off his corpse. So I decided to mutilate his dead body, because he was being an annoying pussy-ass sniper. So yeah, take his shit, and then here's my brother. He's got their rocket launcher, and he just moves in on the motherfucker, takes him down. That's what he gets for sniping my bro. Then I move in, and he spawns up, and fucking I just go straight at him with the FRG, and smash this motherfucker. Start punching his ass, and funny to watch his jiggling ass. It's pretty gay looking. But anyway, so yeah, he rage quits like a little bitch. That's how that goes. And you can see by the score, we're totally kicking their ass, and the game is almost over. So it makes sense that he rage quit. There was no fucking chance. I mean, like I've said in my previous videos, rage quitting is for pussies, but, you know, sometimes you gotta have a little mercy and feel for your opponents. I know he was not having a good time. So anyway, on with the contest. GameFAQs.com. A lot of these gaming websites like IGN and GameSpot or Stop or whatever the fuck it's called, that website, a lot of them suck balls, and so does GameFAQs.com. But GameFAQs.com is holding a contest, and I just think it's really interesting because they're talking about which year is the best year for video games. And the contest spans years through 78, I believe, all the way up until 2016. And I'm happy to say that the years 2014, Master Crap Collection, and the years the year 2016 turned out to be a fucking joke. Also, because Overwatch is a piece of shit game, and those years, they really kind of sucked, actually, like around the time of 2014 up until now, we've gotten Witcher 3, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, maybe a Persona game or two. Yeah, not much. Breath of the Wild, that's an awesome fucking game. Yeah, but not much has really happened, and there have been some seriously gay, disappointing pieces of shit games like Destiny, pretty much any Call of Duty game, Overwatch, these microtransaction premium full price piece of shit games. So I'm glad to say that those years on this list got their fucking asses kicked early. So that is awesome. Good. Fuck them. Those years sucked, and game developers should be doing a fucking better job. We deserve better than this. Basically, after 2011, games that could have been great were fucking ruined by corporate greed. And it's just fucking gay, man. So anyway, there are 3 years that I'm kind of disappointed they didn't make it further in this contest, but what are you going to do? They still made it farther than these shitty years that we've had recently. The first year I want to talk about is 1995. That had Chrono's Trigger and Earthbound and Yoshi's Island, and the PlayStation launched that year, so 95 is awesome. But unfortunately, it lost to 2001. But you know what? 2001 is hard to beat. Halo Combat Evolved, Grand Theft Auto 3, Final Fantasy X. I'm not a big fan of Final Fantasy X. I thought 7 and 6 or 3/6 were better games, but whatever. And Smash Brothers Melee, which is pretty much the best fighting game ever made, and then Silent Hill 2, which is pretty much the best horror game ever made. Also, GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance launched that year. So 2001 is a big fucking deal. So Chrono Trigger is awesome and all, but it makes sense that, I guess it makes sense that 2001 beat it. So, kind of sad, but whatever. Then another year that I was disappointed in that didn't make it was 2000. 2000 had Perfect Dark 64. And just so you know, I played that game for almost like 4 days straight, and I only took breaks to get food and go to the bathroom pretty much. I didn't even shower really, and I was like a zombie at the end of it. Like my teeth were all fucked up. I really needed to brush my teeth. I didn't bathe, and my lips were like chapped like sandpaper. I was a disgusting, gross mess, and my skin was like pale white. I turned into a fucking monster while playing that game. It was fucked up. But I just loved that fucking game so much. And then there was Diablo 2, which is the reason I have carpal tunnel syndrome in my right hand from clicking so much. And of course, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is a wonderful game. I don't like it as much as Ocarina of Time, but it is pretty much just as good. And yeah, PlayStation 2 launched in 2000. You know, pretty much the greatest console ever. Or at least the most popular one. I really love the PS2. So many great games. Awesome fucking console. Anyway, moving on. I'm just kind of disappointed that 2000 lost to 96. And I don't think 96 deserved to win it. 96 has Resident Evil, Mario RPG, Mario 64, and the N64 launched that year. So that's a close one, I guess. But I still think 2000 should have won because I liked the games more that year. But what are you going to do? And then the other year I was disappointed in that didn't get further in this contest was 2002. 2002 has Metroid Prime and The Elder Scrolls. It has a few other games like Kingdom Hearts, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, and Warcraft 3, but I didn't really give a shit about those games that much. No offense to anyone who likes those games, but Grand Theft Auto Vice City just kind of felt like an expansion to Grand Theft Auto 3. Yeah, I guess you could argue it was a better game, but it wasn't exactly like the next step. And then, of course, Warcraft 3. I liked Command & Conquer and StarCraft more, so I really wasn't a big fan of Warcraft strategy games. And Kingdom Hearts, I hear it's a good game, but it just looks so fucking gay with all that gay-ass Disney, Japanese anime type shit. Heard it's good, but, you know. I'm an older guy. I'm a man. I couldn't really get into that shit. So anyway, but still, 2002 was an awesome year, and it is kind of disappointing to me that it lost to 1991. 91 pretty much just had the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World. Final Fantasy II, I don't think that game was anything special, really. Sonic the Hedgehog, I never liked Sonic. Street Fighter II, I never liked fighting games like that. I'm telling you, my fighting game is Smash Brothers and Dead or Alive, because I was really good at it. But Street Fighter 2, nah, I don't care about Street Fighter, don't care about Tekken, don't care about Mortal Kombat, don't care about Soul Calibur, I don't care about Virtua Fighter, I don't give a fuck about a lot of those kinds of games. So anyway, yeah, kind of upsetting that those 3 years didn't make it further, but what are you going to do? But anyway, looks like the end of the contest is coming to a close here, and it looks like 94, 97, 98, and 2001 are the top 4 best games in gaming history. Top years in gaming history. I believe 98 is going to win. That's what I'm putting my money on, and I think 98 does deserve to win. But let's start from the bottom. Okay, so we got 94, and the reason I think 94 deserves to be in the top 4 is because Final Fantasy III and Super fucking Metroid. Those are awesome games. Totally fucking awesome games. You got to play those fucking games. It also has Mega Man X and Donkey Kong Country, which weren't so bad either. So 94 should be on the list, but I think 94 is the weakest of the top 4. Now, moving up, we got 97, And of course, everybody knows 97 because of Final Fantasy VII. You know, the most popular Japanese RPG video game ever made. Yeah, I personally like Final Fantasy 3/6, depending on if you live in Japan or America. But I like that one more. I thought Kefka was a much better villain than emo faggot Sephiroth, you know? Like, come on. Kefka is basically the Joker from The Dark Knight in a Final Fantasy game. He's hilarious. He's very entertaining. He's totally fucked up. He's super evil, poisons people, and destroys the whole fucking planet pretty much. What did Sephiroth do? He, like, burned a village and cried about his mom? Fucking faggot. Anyway, yeah, but Final Fantasy VII, still a great game. Then you also got Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Terrible voice acting, fucking awful voice acting, just like Resident Evil. But still a great game. Probably the best Castlevania game they ever made. It's all about the gameplay. Who cares if the story and the voice acting is trash? The gameplay was fucking badass. It was a really awesome game. That castle is fucking badass. Then we got GoldenEye 007, of course, and 007 GoldenEye N64. It was like the first console shooting game that was actually like hailed as fucking amazing. You know what I mean? Like, before that we had Turok and like ports from Doom and shit, and it just always kind of sucked to play shooters on console. But once GoldenEye came along, once Perfect Dark 64 came along, once Halo Combat Evolved came along, things started to really turn around, and consoles could actually be played decently on, shooters could actually be played decently on consoles at that point, finally. So that was really cool. So that's what 97 is all about. And 1998, of course, we got Ocarina of Time. I could elaborate on that game, but I don't have to. Everybody knows it's pretty much the best video game ever created. And you also got StarCraft, Metal Gear Solid, Half-Life, and I'm not a fan of the Pokemon games, but this is where Pokemon started, Red and Blue. So, also the Game Boy Color came out that year. So, my God, 98 is like the greatest fucking year. And then we got 2001, which is also a heavy hitter. You got Halo Combat Evolved, GTA 3. GTA 3 was a big deal. I mean, that freaked out a lot of people. The whole, prostitute giving you sexual favors, and then you get to bash her head in with a baseball bat afterward and get your money back. Yeah, pretty crazy. And there was also Final Fantasy X, but, I probably said this before. I don't really care for Final Fantasy X. The voice acting was shit, and it was kind of linear compared to previous Final Fantasy games. Like, there wasn't much to do after you beat the game, so, or even when you got close to the end of the game. So I don't think Final Fantasy X was that good. I think 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all better than Part 10. But whatever, who cares? We also got Smash Brothers Melee, probably the best fighting game ever made. If you even want to call it a fighting game, but, totally fucking awesome. I think I'm repeating myself because I already talked about 2001. And, of course, we got Silent Hill 2, probably the greatest horror game ever made. And, the GameCube, Xbox, and Game Boy Advance launched that year. So, anyway, the top 4 years are 94, 97, 98, and 2001. I know I might have repeated myself on some of these games in this video because I got fucking lost there, but whatever. Anyway, those are the top 4 best years in gaming, pretty much. I don't think anyone can really counter-argue that. Not really, kinda, not really though. And I'm pretty sure this is going to boil down to, well, this is what it is. 2001 versus 97 is going to happen soon, and 94 versus 98 is going to happen soon, and I'm pretty sure it's going to boil down to 97 versus 98, and I'm hoping 98 wins because that's my year. I mean, I got Ocarina of Time like 3 days earlier than everybody pretty much because there was this stoner dude at Hollywood Video back in the day, and he wasn't allowed to give out the copies yet because the game hadn't officially launched, but he didn't give a shit and he just let me rent it, so I got to play that game earlier than anyone. So I'm hoping 98 wins. We'll see.